Hey, if you have a Bible, go to Luke chapter 23 on this Good Friday. Luke chapter 23, I want to read a passage of Scripture that deals with Jesus and his crucifixion. It says, two other criminals who were led away, this is verse 32, to be put to death with him. And when they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him. The criminals, one on his right, one on his left. So there are two criminals, thieves is what we're told, on either side. And Jesus said, Father, forgive them. They do not know what they do. And they cast lots and divided his garments. The people stood by watching, and many criticized him, right? Skip down to verse 39. One of the criminals who hanged there railed him, saying, Are you not the Christ? Save yourself. But the other rebuked him, saying, Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we're receiving the due reward for our deeds, but this man has done nothing wrong. And then he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus' response is in verse 42, Truly I say to you, today you'll be with me in paradise. Wow. What an incredible verse. See, something happened to that second thief. We're told in other accounts that both of these criminals mocked Jesus, that both of them rejected him. And yet, as this second thief was there on Good Friday and saw Jesus being crucified as he was suffering the greatest pain of his life, he may have heard Jesus quote Psalm 22 about, my God, why have you forsaken me? Maybe he remembered stories about the different miracles that he heard Jesus do. But all through this experience, as he's watching Jesus respond to the brutality of the Roman officers and not lash out at the religious leaders as they mock him and just make fun of him in front of this crowd, something inside this man clicks. Maybe it was the training he had as a young boy growing up, learning to read the Torah and reading the prophecies from the prophets about a coming Messiah. Something inside this man clicks, and he, in that moment, is regenerated. He's saved, and he realizes that Jesus doesn't deserve this, that Jesus has done nothing wrong, that he's sinless, that Jesus will conquer death. He turns to him and says, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And he asks Jesus to save him, to remember him. All those little pieces lead to this man's supernatural, instantaneous salvation. And right there on the cross, Jesus turns to him and says, I say to you, today you'll be with me in paradise. Now, I want to just, on this Good Friday, I want to just take a couple seconds to think about something. First, think about how offensively inclusive this beautiful gospel is that we believe. That Jesus would include a man like this. And I don't know what you've done or what you're struggling with, but I know that Jesus reaches out his hand right now to include you in his kingdom, to include you in his mercy. And here he includes this man that doesn't deserve to be included, that didn't go through 20 years of spiritual disciplines, that never did one good deed to earn his way to Christ. And yet he's included in the kingdom. And then I also just want you to think about how instantaneous this incredible gospel message that we believe is. That literally in a moment, God supernaturally saves this man. He goes from death to life instantaneously, supernaturally. Now, I don't know who you're praying for. Maybe your mom or your dad, your brother, your sister, maybe they don't know Christ. But here's what I know. Listen to this today. That God can change a person's heart in a second, in a twinkle of an eye. And so I want you just this today to just, as we meditate on Good Friday, to be encouraged by the fact that we serve a God who can do the miraculous in a moment. And let's believe him to do great things this Easter in our lives. In Jesus' name.